For most high school seniors, prom night is a very special event, something they look forward to for the entire year. But for one student in Riverside, California, the senior prom became something even more important. It became the final proof that miracles can happen. Like most parents, Karen and John Blood hoped that their daughter Lisa's dreams would come true. They proudly watched as she grew from a happy, carefree child with a love for music and the piano to a young woman preparing to start a life of her own.
She's getting ready to turn 18. This was her senior year, and before school even started, she had already planned out the prom and the school activities, and she wanted to be that, perfect year in transition to finish out her high school year.
To help pay for all of her senior activities, Lisa took a part-time job at a local restaurant. And it was here, on the night of January 26, 2000, that her hopes and dreams began to unravel. Her mother, Karen, had stopped by to see her near the end of her shift.
She was working and Joseph was there waiting for her to get off work. Joseph and Lisa had been going out for 2 months, and she asked me if she could go over to Joseph's house later. And I said, well, no, because it's a school night.
I know it's late, I know I have midterms, but please, it's our anniversary.
So I give in and I said, okay, listen, 12 o'clock and that's it.
Okay,
You better
I'll be in
home
the
by
door
12.
5 to 12 talking to you.
And I said, okay, I'm going to count on that.
But by 12:15, Lisa had still not returned home.
I must have dozed off, and then all of a sudden the phone rang. I was expecting it to be her. Hello? Saying, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry that, I lost track of time. But it wasn't her. It was the hospital calling, indicating that she had been in a serious accident. Oh, my God, is she okay? And at that point, my heart just dropped.
Karen's worst fear had come true. Lisa's car had crashed head-on into a tree. By the time Karen and John arrived at the hospital, Lisa was in surgery.
We're the Bloods. You're here for Lisa Blood?
Your stomach is just like in knots, and it's just very difficult to even talk to each other. I think we were so pulled within ourselves of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do without her if she doesn't make it? She's our whole life. We just started praying to God to let her come through this.
After what seemed like hours, the Bloods finally received some news.
One of the first questions I asked the doctor is she going to make it? And the doctor said, we don't know.
They did indicate that the longer she's under, the worse it could be.
If she comes out the next 3 days, everything should be fine, but if it goes beyond the 3 days, there's going to be complications and problems.
She could be paralyzed. She may not walk again, or she may not talk again. She may not be able to feed herself again. I just want her to be alive. And then I would work and deal with whatever came after that.
As days turned to weeks, Lisa remained comatose. Her boyfriend, Joseph, stayed by her side. Until, finally, 14 days after her accident, a sign of hope.
She opened her eyes, just open them up, and couldn't move her eyes, but she could open and close her eyelids. And that was the first sign.
But the doctors didn't share the family's optimism.
The doctor thought it was a spasm or reaction, and I told the doctor, I said, no, we've been here day in and day out. This is different. The doctor actually asked Lisa on the second day to blink once yes and twice for no. Lisa was able to respond, yes.
3 days later, she responded in a new and startling way.
Lisa began actually making motions with her fingers that first appeared random, and then after watching her, I realized that she was actually using sign language that she had learned in 8th grade as part of a class project. The doctor came in and indicated that he thought it was just spasms and really did not believe that it was sign, that he'd never heard of such thing. And I told the doctor, I said, "You don't know Lisa. I know she's signing. I actually did this with her, and I know if Lisa wants to communicate, she's going to find a way, and this is her way. She's trying to get through to us."
It wasn't long before Lisa was sitting up, still unable to speak, but communicating with her father through a sign language chart.
The first letters that I could recognize was DAD, Dad. I was very excited that she was communicating. I was very excited that she knew who I was.
Lisa had emerged from the coma, but according to Dr. Kimberly Bedell, who was in charge of her rehabilitation, she still had a very long way to go.
When Lisa started her pediatric rehabilitation, she did not speak. She wasn't able to move in the bed. So at that point, she was quite dependent on everyone for her care.
But Lisa was determined to get by on her own, and she had a special goal: to attend her senior prom 4 weeks away.
They said she's going to be lucky to make it to her June graduation, let alone an April prom. And I said, but she really wants to go to this. She needs to go to this. This is like her senior prom. I mean, that's not ever going to happen again.
Come on up, come on up, come on.
The day that
Put your hands
they
up on the bars.
actually put her on the parallel bars to take a step or two, she took like 3 steps.
All right, I can feel it. Come on, one more. All right. You walked.
And I was just like almost in tears. I mean, I literally had to go outside, get on my cell phone, and call my husband at work and say, she walked. She walked today. The next day at therapy, she walked the full length of the parallel bars and back. It was just amazing to me. I couldn't believe it.
All right. You're almost to the walker now.
I knew all along she was
Come on,
determined,
pull
but
that chair
she
behind us.
became more determined as she progressed.
And left.
I think we were all kind of doubtful that she would be walking out of the hospital a week early. And it ends up that it was actually 2 weeks early. That was remarkable.
Nobody expected it to come true. I know it would, but nobody else really thought that I was serious or that it could happen.
And Lisa's dream to attend her senior prom came true, thanks to her courage and determination.
That determination and that strength had to come from somewhere. And I believe that it was a miracle that I had that determination and that strength.
The miracle was Lisa coming out of this coma and coming back 100% and getting her life back that all the doctors said wouldn't happen.
I go over it and over it in my head, and there was no reason why I should be sitting here talking right now. So it's gotta be a miracle.